Hello and welcome to the Spotlight. This series in the canon is dedicated to featuring leadership. Leadership in many different industries, many different capacities, and ultimately in any place in the world is what we will be featuring here. So this actually sprung from a very, very deep part in my heart because I've always been passionate about leadership, but I've had kind of the contrast of experiences from meeting some really, really, really beautiful souls that are just amazing, inspiring leaders who have just brought so much value and benefit to my life. But also kind of the stark contrast of that, where I've also had experiences with people who are kinds of in positions of leadership who really, really impacted my life in a very negative and destructive way. So it was kind of these contrast of experiences that has cultivated a really, really deep sense of gratitude towards the people that I call true leadership, the people that are working with their hands, their head, and their heart, and who are really committed to creating value, to aspiring to create something that's bigger than themselves and really serve the people that they are there to lead. And so, this series, I hope to highlight the best of our world through leadership and really tell their stories, find out who they are, how did they get there, and ultimately show the world kind of the best of ourselves through these people. So thank you so much. I really hope that you will join me on this journey in celebrating the best of the people in our world who are just making such a positive impact, um, and ultimately, hopefully, seeing maybe some parts of yourself through that in the process. So, thank you, and I hope that you will enjoy it. Bye. So I met Jeffrey Natsuko about 7 years ago. So I was just coming out of a really difficult time in my life, actually. I had gone through a very, very painful experience at work, and basically just left there, and was really just trying to figure out what to do next. So I really needed to heal for a little bit, I felt. So I kind of went to look for a retreat to go to. So my father was on contract in Samsung at the time in Seoul. So I was looking in possibly Japan. I'd never been to Japan before, so I thought, hey, let's see what's there. I mean, there must be something, kind of zen that I can do there. And I don't even know how I found Jeffrey, and Atsuko, but somehow I connected with them. And they were living in this really rural town in Miyazaki, the southern prefecture of Japan. So I said, hey, okay, let's do it. I'm going to come. So I basically had a retreat with them for 1 week. And it's kind of insane when you think about it because I had no idea. I'd never been to Japan. I just went there alone. They kind of met me at the airport and they were saying on the way up, they're like, you're very trusting. Like literally, you never know who you like who could have been there kind of thing. But I had already talked with them and stuff, so I had so many beautiful exchanges with them that I was sure that these were safe people. Um, so it was such a magical week. I mean, just the air there. I'm been in the city for a really long time, so to go there, like the perfection of the nature, like the air was just so clean and crisp, and the water was just like, you went and got it from like a natural spring that came from the mountains, and you drank it and it was like so amazing and delicious and cold. um so even just being in that environment was just, I could feel myself, like I was just at some points like almost nauseous, but in a really good way, like almost kind of purging toxins I felt from being kind of, in a really, really busy city environment for pretty much my whole life. So, just the environment itself was so amazing. And then, they were just these incredible people. I mean, I always grew up in, a little bit more of that like typical story. So, you go to school, you get a job, career, you kind of climb the corporate ladder, you settle down eventually, get a house, the white picket fence, and they do all that stuff. So that was kind of my vision of life. And they just lived a completely different life. I mean, I think Jeffrey had lived in like 35 countries in his life, and they were just living in this way where they had chickens. So we would eat this food, and it was literally from like a chicken that had laid the egg in the backyard. Things like that. And they had built this beautiful, beautiful company, um, that an organic food company that they were running, and had this beautiful movement that they had started to create called the World Garden. And the World Garden, like their slogan or their MO is world peace through inner peace. So it is all about cultivating that place of peace, and contentment and happiness from within. And they had just done some amazing work through that movement, including building schools overseas, and holding a really, really high energetic event called One World. There was like, I think 35 or 3,600 people that showed up, all kind of committed to this vision of peace. There was music and artists and just people in love, just like kind of melting through, in this island in Japan. And then at the end, on the final day, they held hands and circled the island in as a symbol of unity. So I was just so amazed at all the things that they had done, and I felt so honored to be able to share space with them for, like, during that time. And they were also they're healing practitioners, so they practice all kinds of alternative medicine. So that it was just a beautiful transformative experience for me. So that's the story of how I met them.
And so I hope that the world gets to know them a little bit better too, because they are truly amazing people who just encompass and embody this love and this joy.